Assalamu alaikum, dear sisters, dear listeners and viewers. Today's topic is on family life. And today we will be discussing the blame game. Usually we try and blame our parents for things that haven't worked out for us. And there's generations that are lost in that syndrome. What I would say is the people that we grew up with, the people that came into this country in the 60s and the 70s, and the children were very young or they were born in this country at that time. Their parents came with dreams, they came with aspirations, they came with their children, they came to build their lives. They came because they wanted something better for the next generation. They left behind all the people they loved, their brothers, their sisters, their land, their property, and all that they had already built, even their own souls, part of them, they left those behind. So they came here thinking, right, okay, we're going to earn, we're going to have a good amount of treasures, and we're going to go back and we're going to live happily ever after. That was the mindset at the time, that we're going to go back and we're going to live there happily ever after. Now, what happened is as they went along, they still held on to those dreams, but the children, they went to school, they went to work, they associated and socialized with other communities, and their lifestyle wasn't going to be like their parents' lifestyle. So their parents' dreams, perhaps you could say, were shattered, or they didn't actually materialize. So the parents felt they had the victim mentality that I've done all this for you, but you've done nothing for me. And the child has the mentality, well, actually, I've done nothing, I'm only living my life. What is it that is expected of me? So it's just a number of things that happened, and then in one opinion, it's gone wrong. In the other opinion, it hasn't gone wrong. It is life. Now, let's introduce our co-host, Sister Zahra.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Yes, today's episode is all about the parenting and the lost generation. We are talking about the people who come first in the other country. It's all about the 1950s, 1960s, when the first lot of the immigrants come here. They come with a different mindset. Their mindset, as Shena said, that they come in a mind. They come here, they work, they get a good life for themselves and the back home. So let's see in an elaborated way that these people coming here, they are not very much of educated, or they are not very much of the awareness of the language. Or even though if they are aware of the language, they are highly professional doctor or engineers or anyone, they still bring a specific mindset. They come from a place where they have a values, there where the lifestyle where there is a parents are kind of ruler. They children have to do what they are being told. And now the children who are either come as in a young age here or either being born here, they have the really confused household. In that, why I'm saying that the confused household is that in the morning they go into the schools and the university where they are being taught as an individual, where they are being learning about self-reliance, where they are learning about how to choose things, where they are learning about how to be individual and productive. When they go back home, they come to know that they are just children. They have to do what is being told to them, and they have to achieve good marks, good ranks, be first in the class, be best in the cousins, be best in everything. They have to best in the cooking, they have to be best in the school, they have to best behaving. They never tell them what they like, or even they try to tell what they like, they are being snubbed. Or maybe sometimes they have to be the babysitter of their younger children because both of the parents are working, and this isn't giving them the time to relax or time to think about themselves. And sometimes there is restrictions because, as in if you come from the conservative families, you are not allowed to mix freely, make friends freely, because there is no French concept of friendships, and you live a lonely afternoons. And these are the all wounds which you are grow up with that, and where you think that, my parent does not raise me well. They told me, impose so much. They are so much bossy. They are so much conservative. They never let me do that. So this is the phrase sometimes when people come into my therapy, they tell me that, my parents did this to me. They never let me do that. And that's why I'm still suffering that mentality. I haven't become the person I want to be, and I'm never being happy, and I'm always being depressed, stressed, or angry, child or adult. So let's see the real life story from Sister Shanaz. Is there
Uh,
something she has been seen or gone through?
I think with Asian households, you always have the thing that, oh, ye baad mein kar lena. So when you're young and you want to do things, oh, do it when you're married. When you're
Yeah.
married and you do things, and they say, no, you should have done it before. So there's never that right time. Kabhi bhi, there's never that right time that comes in your life where you can do what you want to do
Yeah.
in Asian households. Now, that generation, as you said, the lost generation, and we often refer to ourselves as that because you were neither Pakistani because you hadn't seen Pakistan, you've never been in Pakistan. In those days, people didn't go to Pakistan for 15 years. Imagine taking 6 children to Pakistan, how much it would cost. So most people didn't go. The father would probably go by himself, or the mother would go by herself, and the children would stay here with the parents. So I know many, many children that have never been to Pakistan. So they've never been to Pakistan, but they're still Pakistanis. And they've always lived in England, but they're not English. They've always lived in Britain, but they're not British. So it's quite a difficult sort of like a very difficult notion in the sense that you are Pakistani, but there's expectations of you that you are not going to fulfill. Now, growing up at that time, the expectation was that you'd grow up, you'd go to perhaps college. University was seldom, but a lot of people did go to uni. And after that, you will go to Pakistan and you will get married. And it wouldn't even be, I don't even think college was in the equation for most people. So you'd go to Pakistan, you'd get married, and then you'd bring that person over and you'd live happily ever after. This is what your parents told you. And don't forget, when your parents came to this country, 20 years ago, because if you're now 16 and getting married or 18 and getting married, you would have been here for at least, your parents would have been here 20 years. Everyone in Pakistan has moved on. Because I remember when I went to Pakistan and I went after a long, long time, and everyone was modern and with it. And my parents were really simple. My parents look like the villagers, and all those people look as bahir se aaye hain, like they say. Their mindset was different. Whereas
Yeah.
my parents, oh, you can't do this, or you can't do that. And they were like, oh, मेहंदियों पे बच्चियां डांस कर रही हैं, गाने गा रही हैं. And my parents, you would never have that. कि ये भी कोई काम में करना चाहोगा. So when they were bringing their children up in this country, they were still in 1970. They were still in 1960. Whereas in people in Pakistan, they had moved on. They had, their lifestyle was changing. So because they're our parents' lifestyles, all our parents, not just, I'm not speaking of my own personally, I'm just speaking of generally those parents that came at that time, because their lifestyles were very much stuck in the 70s. They went back, and when they came back and they got this spouse for their child, these people had very different views and opinions. These people had very different ideas about how they wanted to live life. So you could have been just a stepping stone, just for them to come to this country and make a life for themselves, which for them is fine because that's their mindset. But your mindset is different. Your mindset was that you have to make things work. You've got to do, what is right. So when everything dies down and that person has left, then this wounded person, like you say, is sitting there feeling sorry for themselves. The victim, developing that victim mentality, thinking, oh, well, my qismat is bad. And no one's qismat is bad. Allah writes your qismat. Allah is the best of writers. So your qadr is never bad. I think it's very, we're very ungrateful human beings when we say, oh, uski qadr kharab hai, uski qismat kharab hai. No, it's not. Allah's the best of writers and He's written your qismat. Your qismat is perfect. The fact that there's these little hurdles in the way, it's to make you a better and stronger person. It's to make you a bigger person. So don't blame, yourself about these things, about things that have happened, and don't blame your parents. They only did what they thought was right. What has always been working for them, they only did that. So you now have this mindset that, oh, it's not worked. It's not worked, but now you can do something that you think that will work, so you can make your life move forward. Then we have the second group of people who are, of course, coming from the same age range as us. They resisted that option. I'm not going to go to Pakistan and get married to someone I don't know. And they stood their grounds. They did not do that. And in England, obviously, we had no marriage bureaus. We had no, most people didn't know each other. Like if people were from Lahore, they didn't want to socialize with the people from Jhelum, or, well, not socialize, but marry. Or people from Karachi. It was just that the geography was too big for us to deal with at the time. Now things have changed, but at the time, it was if you marry your daughter into that household, how are you as a family going to maintain that relationship? Now we say, no, let them deal with it. They can have that relationship. You're only going to see each other birth, death, and marriages. But in those days, it wasn't like that. It was that you had to literally be living in each other's pockets if you wanted a good relationship. So those sisters or brothers, they never actually got married. So now they, of course, they did work, they did do things for themselves, but they too were stuck in that era. So then they too now, it's like, oh, well, this didn't happen for me. Look, it didn't work out. It didn't work out. If it didn't work out at the time, now things are different. Now you are a grown person, you are an adult, you've got experience behind you, you've got life behind you. You can still move forward. It doesn't have to be in the sense that it was in the 70s or in the 80s. It can be different. It can be, your life can be a positive experience for you in a different way. It doesn't have to be in the conventional way. So make your life a positive experience for you and don't dwell on things that went wrong, because our parents didn't do things to us with the thought that, oh, we're going to do this and it's going to go wrong. They did it because they thought it will work out and our child will be happy and our child will be secure and we will be happy and we will be secure with this relationship, whatever relationship they had left behind that tie. So instead of blaming and then just sitting there and not moving forward and then just thinking that, oh, it's you're unlucky and nothing ever works for you, make things work for you. Move forward in life. You are now, your parents are probably not with you now, and they're not stopping you from doing anything. They're not stopping you from moving forward. So why are you not moving forward?
Amazing, amazing the way you put it, Sister Shanaz. That's what I am saying right now. That first thing you think about that your parent does not plan to deprive you from something, because they come with an idea that they give you a beautiful and a life where there are lots of opportunities. And whatever they have done, whatever the system of their house is, that do believe that they did their best of their resources, they did the best of their knowledge, they did the best of their what they can think they can give you. But if still you feel that in a way that where you find that I suffered this because of this, my parents did this, and I'm suffering because of it, and it's wounded me and it's hurting me still, and I can't move on and I can't start new life. I will tell you, that might be the difficult. that might not be that easy, that you might not be that strong to do everything you are thinking. And that is why, the world is so different now. There are lots of resources and there are lots of support is available. At that time, when you are younger, when you are struggling with that, you are not able to communicate, you are not clear about what you are feeling, you are not clear about your irrational thoughts, you are not clear about your unconscious patterns, you are not clear about what is impacting you, you are still not clear that, how you move forward. And that is why that therapeutic life coaching or, psychological therapy is not always that you have mental health problems. It is sometimes you are being stuck because of some triggers, some events in your life which you lived by now. You can't move forward, but you can always move forward. There is always a light. And why and how that light come out, when you take out all the things which is making you stuck, you can clear your mind. And which we say that, forgive your parents. They are not able to provide you the best life which you imagine must be given to you, because they are torn between two kind of ideology, the ideology they come with, the lifestyle they come with, the mindset they come with. And while they are thinking they will go back and they will be the, the package, the gift package, the set of the ideologies they bring, that ideology even is not fitting back home. Because as Sister Shana said, there, people move on, people evolve, people become different, and the events may change people. And the people who come from the other country, they are still stuck into the certain kind of mindset if they does not evolve yourself. And these parents who come into their in the 1960s, 1970s, or so on, they does not have chance to evolve, because at that time there is no media, there is no television, there is a language barrier, there is a less people of the community where they can grow, there is a more of that mindset that, we are going to meet only people, either they are our relatives or our from our city. They are not accepting in a broader way that the Muslims, they are all Muslims. So the if there are other Muslims in the neighborhood, they don't know how to communicate them, because they might be speaking Urdu, Punjabi, Sindhi, Pashto, and the English is the second language which is not clear. The other person might be speaking Arabic or Egyptian or Morocco's or something, like even the French or any other language. You does not know how to communicate, and there is a lots of gap of communication which come into your life, and there is a lots of gap into the set of values which change back home. It isn't change here, and you are living not the dual life but the triple life, with the victim mindset, with the blame games. But now today you are being aware of lots of things. Work onto yourself. Just it might not be changed the last 30 years of your life, but constantly working with some therapeutic relationship, you can not erase everything, but you might find some new ways to cope, and you might find how to move on, and you might create the life you want to live, and you might able to reparent yourself, because you know what your parents can't do for you, but now you can do it for yourself. So
Yeah.
yes, Sister Shanaz, what's the last words from you?
Well, I think instead of just saying that my parents didn't do anything right for me, or they were backwards, or they were from Pakistan and they didn't know what was going on, instead of thinking the negatives about them, think of how strong your parents really were.
Yeah.
That they came to this country as a young couple. So young couple, a husband and wife, both probably not educated, both not having English as a second language. And they've got young children with them as well, two, three. Some people had more. So if they've got very small children and then coming to a country, they know nothing about this country. Maybe the man's been in this country in the past, the father's been in the country in the past, and then gone back and brought the family, and they don't know the language, they don't know where they're going to live, they don't know if they're going to be able to buy a house, and they are really, really strong, and they have got up and come, they've got the get up and go. Whereas with us, tell us to go somewhere else. We live in Reading, tell us to go to another town, so like 2 hours away. would we do that? We wouldn't do that. We have the language, we have the money, we have the capacity, we have everything. Would we do that? We wouldn't, because we just think, what's the point? We're quite comfortable here, let's stay. If your parents had thought, oh, we're quite comfortable in Pakistan, let's stay, then you wouldn't have these opportunities that you have now. So don't think, oh, don't blame them for everything that has happened. Take some responsibility yourself as well. And your life is your life. So whatever has happened in the past and you reacted or couldn't do anything about it, now you have the freedom to do what you please. So build your life now. It's never too late. You're alive. You can do things how you want them. You can build your life how you want to build it. So do it now instead of blaming other people and feeling sorry for yourself, having that victim mentality. Don't be a victim. Be a positive person. Be a person who can build their life. And then sort of like, think, well, okay, so that all did happen, but it actually made me who I am. It helped me build myself. Be positive.
Yeah. Amazing, amazing. Thank you very much for listening to us. Try to please comment or just follow us onto the Facebook and reach out if you want anything or if you have any story to tell. We will tell your story here, what happened with you. And if you want to sometime join us in our episodes, do let us know. We will see if how could it be possible. Thank you very much and take care. Allah Hafiz.
Jazakallah khair. Khuda Hafiz.